Mount Arbel, which used to be the hiding place of the Zealots. The Zealots were originally from Galilee, from this area. They are very religious Jews. They would not want any foreign rule in the land of Israel. And at that time, Israel was under the Romans. And so they organized a number of revolts against the Romans. And one of them is the 66 Great Revolt, 1966 AD, Great Revolt against the Romans by the Zealots. They used to hide here, the caves of Mount Arbel. The one who suppressed the Zealot was actually King Herod the Great. King Herod the Great came here with his Roman legion army. What he did is that they went up on the top of the mountain, and the soldiers lowered themselves down in a basket, and they got into the cave, and the Zealots, they burnt the Zealots right here in Mount Arbel. And so in 66 AD, all this water that we're here, that we see now, was filled with blood. There was a great rebellion that took place right here, the Great Revolt of 66 AD. Very soon, we will be seeing the caves. In fact, inside these caves, they found a lot of ritual baths, which is a part of Judaism, which is immersion baths, and we call it mikveh. And so, which indicates the fact that the Zealots used to be here. Now, we look here to the left. We'll see the caves. Can you see the caves there, the second mountain? Yeah, see the caves over there. Those the caves. There's a number of caves there that used to be the hiding place of the Zealots. Now get your camera ready, because we're going to be passing by a very biblical place here at the left side. You see the slope. This is the village of Magdala. Who came from Magdala? Maria Magdalena. Mary Magdalene came from this village. Right at the foot of Mount Arbel, there is a village, and this is now called Migdal from the word Magdala. So Mary Magdalene came from this village, the village of Magdala. Now we are passing by here to the right of us. This is now Ginosar, which is the biblical Gennesaret. Biblical Gennesaret, Jesus used to land on the shores of Gennesaret. Jesus would say to his disciples, "Let us go to the other side," and then he would land on the shores of Gennesaret. So this is Gennesaret area over here, and something happened here in 1986. In 1986, there was a drought here in Israel, hardly any rain. And so the Sea of Galilee receded, and it exposed the bottom of the Sea of Galilee, the seabed plain. One day, two Jewish brothers were walking, and they found some ancient nails, and they got all excited because they were amateur archaeologists. And then they found a piece of wood. They could not pick up that piece of wood from the ground. They tried to pull it out, and they couldn't. Even the two of them together could not pull out that one piece of wood. And so they cleared the mud around the wood, and guess what they found? An ancient fishing boat, 2,000 years old, that sunk right there and covered with the seabed mud. They had to carefully remove the mud. Each time that they remove the mud, they have to spray the boat with water, because each time that the wood is exposed to the air, it started to disintegrate. And then after they have removed all the mud, they covered the boat with polyurethane foam. And then they were able to get the boat off the ground. And they soaked the boat in a wax solution for 10 years. It's a way of preserving the boat so that the wax would penetrate right into the wood. So they soaked the boat in a wax solution from 1986 to 1996. And then they had to go through, the boat has to go through a drying process for 2 years, from 1996 to 1998. It was only in 1998 that it was ready to be exhibited. And that is also the year that I started really actively working as a tour guide. Now, the person who found the boat, Yuval, is one of the brothers. He was telling me, Romema, when we found the boat, there's something unusual that happened. It started to rain, when actually we did not expect any rain that day. And then after that, the rain stopped. It's actually not a rain, it's just a shower. And then after that, the shower stopped. And then there was a beautiful rainbow over the Sea of Galilee. And so they are just amazed. It seems that the heavens were rejoicing that the boat was found. And so they wondered to whom the boat belonged. And so they, since they said that it must belong to somebody special in the past. And so they could only think of Jesus. And even though they were not believers in Jesus, they called that now as the ancient Jesus boat. Now we're gonna get the chance to see that today. It's not in your itinerary. The third time after he was resurrected from the dead. It's also the place where Jesus restored Peter back to himself. And then after the primacy of Peter, we go to Capernaum. We'll have Mass in Capernaum. After Capernaum, we go to the multiplication of the loaves and fish. And after that, then we have lunch. After lunch, we have the boat ride, and we see the ancient Jesus boat, and we end the day at Mount Beatitudes, where Jesus preached the Sermon on the Mount. Okay, so that's our schedule for today.